Okay, business time now. It's Black Friday here. Consumers lining up at stores or clicking on retail websites. In fact, we understand some of them have been doing so for the past few weeks. Last year saw a significant decline in spending compared to the previous year. Many households had to cut back. Now, Devin Murugan, you've been watching all of this. Good afternoon.
Yes, thanks very much indeed, Brad. And the thing is, you've got to ask yourself, you sit around the dinner table conversations, and many people would say whether or not Black Friday really is relevant or not. Well, firstly, some analysts had expected November's card sales, and this is how you measure it, and ATM withdrawals to surpass the previous year's Black Friday, as specials once again run out throughout the entire month. Also, remember that the restrictions have been eased somewhat. But let's take a look to see what a recent survey by Game is telling us. And this is a survey that was done across a diverse racial groupings and 9 provinces. So before today, they asked a couple of questions. For example, why would you be shopping on Black Friday? And it's interesting what results they got. 52% of the respondents said, well, we've got tight pockets, we're looking for discount deals just to manage our wallet. Look at that percentage point when asked whether or not the deals are actually worth it. 21% of the respondents said, well, they think they are. It seems like a low figure there, doesn't it? And Brad, look at this, 20% of the people who are shopping on Black Friday is saying, well, they merely just bargain hunters. I suppose it's the thrill of it. But it's the first one that really is an interesting sight to see, that 52% of recipients of the survey says, well, look, it's because of the tight pockets. Let's move on if we have to answer the question as to what exactly they are looking for. Now, we'll get a clearer picture once the stats come out later today or perhaps next week on what they bought. But ahead of today, groceries and essentials really still marked at the top list. And when you look at what COVID-19 did to the pockets of people, you can see why over the last 2 years or so that was high up on the agenda. Things like coffee, like long life milk and oil, for example, topped things. Appliances still the #1 Black Friday item to purchase. And of course, a recent survey tells us that everyone below the age of 40, especially males, went for those electronics, Brad. So, if you're wondering whether people will feel that Black Friday is still relevant, that's another big question that's come up. Let's take a look at what the survey is telling us on that question. The question basically put out to people of whether or not this is a relevant deal. Now, 67% of people who were questioned on the survey said they planned to shop on Black Friday. 63% said it's still relevant. Now, it seems like a high number, but it's interesting to see that if my maths is correct, about 37% of the people believed it probably isn't. Still a huge number indeed. And that pretty much tells you the picture of what things look like on Black Friday. Before I end on this particular one, I want to just read out some stats by a payment platform called Ozo. Now, this is a payment platform that's been tracking purchases with cards and services a few of the big companies. I mean, they say that by midday today, more than half of its top merchants, and this includes Fashini Group, Takealot, all on this Ozo platform, half of the top merchants have already exceeded total processing values they achieved for last year's Black Friday. So things are tight, but it still looks like people are spending. So we'll track on further Black Friday news for you as the day progresses. Let's move on to the other big story of the day now. The rand continues to weaken against the dollar on the back of this newly discovered coronavirus variant. Hovering around 16 rand 25 to the US dollar, the local currency is now weaker against the dollar than it has been in more than a year. This is bad news. You can see what those travel restrictions imposed by the UK and other countries on South Africa is doing to the local currency. Economists say a weaker currency normally makes the country cheaper to visit, but now tourists will simply not be able to come to the country, so you won't benefit there. Here's Kevin Links.
I don't think the extra currency weakness is really helpful. I think you're going to see more of the negative consequences of that, which is essentially more inflation. The cost of petrol goes up, cost of oil goes up for South Africa, and the cost of other essential imports go up. So I think we're going to see more of a negative effect. And as I say, I think the Reserve Bank's going to feel that they have to continue to hike interest rates. So I don't think that there's a positive spin under current circumstances for the latest round of rand weakness.